That looks really sick. This is the first time I've actually seen our custom fuel tank mounted up under here.
Yeah, so this is the actual pass-through area for the six-passenger seating.
That's part of the flooring right there?
Yeah, this is all the flooring right here, and you've got your drive shaft tunnel here that comes back. This is the fuel cell. Hey folks, welcome back to another vlog. On the last episode, we were out in the desert. We've got more footage coming. We did like a ton of filming out there, all kinds of trail rides. We've got some technical stuff coming up, some how-to videos as well. So that's coming. But for today, we're gonna give you an update on the Exoskeleton, some of the work that we've done on the underside of the truck as we're wrapping up this beast. So come on over, let's take a look at this. So what we're working on right now, when I say we, I really mean Jared, because I'm not working on it, but I'll go with that. So what we're working on today is the half shaft. Jared's putting on the 12K half shafts. There's a couple different variants out there, primarily the 10K and the 12K, and I know there are a couple, one other one that was a really light duty one on the Humpies, which is actually a harder material and would shatter on you, and I've actually had that happen on my old 92. So that shattered right at the half shaft itself. So the heavier duty versions went to a softer, more malleable material and actually twist a little bit. And then they went to the 12Ks, which are kind of the best of the best. So the 12K half shafts are definitely what we like to throw on the Duramax converted trucks, especially the Cummins. The amount of torque that come out of Cummins, you really got to run the 12K half shafts. Although I've never broken a 10K half shaft with the Duramax truck, usually happens with abuse, but it's just kind of nice preventative measure to get those 12K half shafts on there. So what that involves is removal of the geared hub. That comes out, all the gears come out, more or less rebuild that whole geared hub. There's a new input gear that goes in there. You've got the new half shaft, as well as all new seals, and then it goes back together, and you can see this brand new sealant right here as he's assembling it. Also, the other cool thing is we have our big brake kit up here. It is literally the best of the best out there. That was actually designed for NSW, so Naval Special Warfare. We designed that for the guys. When we made that push from Iraq and Afghanistan, we hit mountainous terrain and the brakes would overheat, literally boil the brake fluid, and then we lose all brake pressure, lose brakes entirely, and trucks were out of control going down hills. So we came up with this system for NSW, and after a couple years of them running it, we released it to the civilian market. So what it is 6-piston caliper. It's got a massive rotor in the center with a ton of ventilation here. And then, of course, all of this bracketry, it's all solid billet steel that we mill down. I think one of the hangers starts out at, it's got to be like 35 pounds, 40 pounds of material. And we mill that thing down on our mill right over here to, oh shoot, maybe 1.5 pounds or so. So a tremendous amount of work that goes into that big brake kit. And then stainless steel braided lines to go into it. But that braking system is hands down the best of the best. It is a huge difference over stock, to the point where when you hit the brakes, you're not really worried about the car in front of you, you're worried about the cars behind you and if they're paying attention. So I've done a couple heavy stops, not on purpose, and when I laid into it, I actually was closing that distance really quickly with the car in front of me, slammed on the brakes, and I could have easily stopped, but the cars behind me couldn't stop quick enough. So I was watching the rear view mirror as well as the car in front of me, and kind of separated myself out and actually crept up on the car that was braking in front of me. So I didn't hit them, but also I wouldn't get rear-ended. So just an awesome brake system out there. Now we did play around with another variant, because shortly after, another variant came out to NSW that TACCOM came out with and said, okay, this is a solution, and it was a Willwood caliper, much like these are. This is all our custom work here, but it was an inferior caliper. You'll see a couple of them floating around on eBay. I wouldn't even waste your time or money. They're probably 3, 4, 5 grand to put together. You're gonna run into an e-brake problem in the rear with those. And then I guess if you're putting them on a Humvee, it's okay. But again, it's a lot of money for a system that doesn't work very well. This system is far superior. The other option is to do the 12K brake system or the Alpha brakes that came out on the Alpha Hummer. If you're kind of on a budget, that 12K Alpha brake system, absolutely phenomenal. You put that on a truck and you're gonna be very impressed with the stopping power on it. It still is the factory caliper. It's a 1-piston caliper, but it's very effective because you're going from a 10-inch rotor to a 12-inch rotor. I think these are like 12.5 inches or so. That's about the max you can get. But when you go from a 10-inch rotor to the 12-inch rotor on the Alpha brake system, that gives you so much more brake leverage because you're clamping down on diameter out here versus something like this. Imagine just trying to grab a hold of a rotor when it's out here and slowing it down with your hand. You're gonna be a lot more effective out here versus trying to stop a little skateboard wheel if it's that big. So quick breakdown on the brakes, no pun intended. All right, so that wraps up the brakes as well as the half shafts. Coming back here, oh, this is cool. So something you don't normally see on the Viper winch bumper is this access. So we've actually engineered this access hole here and a cover plate that goes in there, but it gives you access to the winch. So you've got the entire 12,000 pound Warren winch right up there. If you need to pull it out or get in there, do some work, it's pretty easy to access that. And then a nice cover plate goes on here, which you really don't see unless you're underneath the truck, which we are today. So moving to the back, we've got obviously the most predominant part and feature of this truck is the exoskeleton, and it's tied into our rocker panel protection. This is full steel rocker panel protection that we build in-house, as well as these rock sliders that are welded in place and integrated as a one-piece unit. Roll cage comes down into it and ties into it.
Oh, so that covers like the entire side belly of the...
Oh yeah, this is literally covering like half the truck on both sides.
And that's fully integrated with the exoskeleton, right?
Yes, yeah.
So as you can see up here, the exoskeleton bolts right here to the rock sliders.
Yeah, and we have some frame mounts on it as well, but this is tying into the rocker panel protection. Check this out too. So custom fuel tank. We got Jared over here waiting for me. Go,
guys.
Go.
Can I do these 2 more?
Yeah, go work. We'll wait.
You would never make the NASCAR pits.
He's pretty
with
quick
that
though.
Speed.
It's precision with Jared. It's not about speed, it's about doing it right. Check this out, aluminum fuel tank up here. This is a necessity because of the 6-passenger seating. We actually take out all of this section right in here out of the fuel tank space. The original fuel tank can't fit in here.
Yeah, that looks really sick. This is the first time I've actually seen our custom fuel tank mounted up under here.
Yeah, so this is the actual body panels now of the truck. So this is the pass-through area for the 6-passenger seating.
So that's a part of the flooring right there?
Yeah, this is all the flooring right here. And you've got your drive shaft tunnel here that comes back. This is the fuel cell.
Yeah,
And
so
then
just so people know, the drive shaft isn't
Yeah, it's not in place yet.
connected right now.
But check this out too, another kind of cool feature. The tank actually goes over the top of the drive shaft here. So we get another roughly 2 gallons or so of fuel by kind of transitioning, saddling over the top of it. This one's actually pretty precise as far as its fitment and maximizing as much space as we can for fuel. With the weight on this truck, I would say you're probably looking at 17 miles per gallon or so. But you've increased it quite a bit, and so we're still talking, I haven't done the math, but maybe 500-mile range or so.
But we still have the secondary tank
600.
on here too, though, correct?
Exactly, you have the aux tank back here. You can also see the brake lines, stainless steel braided brake lines here. Another kind of interesting feature here is right over here. Take a look at this guy. So see this panel? This is where we actually have the stretch seating. So we gained 9 inches of room right here by stretching this back. When we did that, we ran into another problem, which is exhaust system. So with the exhaust system, the normal exhaust system, it comes up here, it goes vertical into this cavity here, and then up and over. Because of that, we actually had to shorten the exhaust system up a little bit, so this water trap's a little bit shorter here, and it comes down over there, but it does tuck up nicely in this area. Very custom and very clean look out of that exhaust. And then we ran our 5-inch exhaust tip over here. It's double wall stainless steel, nice little taper on it on the inside.
So also normally the exhaust doesn't come out back here. It seems like it's tucked away quite a bit. Usually it comes out like more up in this area, correct?
Yeah, exactly. But that's because we have this shortened exhaust system here where it's tucked up against the body. Very, very tight. And you're right, normally it comes up in here in the wheel well, drops down and does a 90-degree bend and comes out right here. So that would pose another problem because we do have these little side corner pods that are on here that the frame ties or the exoskeleton ties into. So we'd actually have to drop the exhaust tip down here if we're gonna go that route. Instead of doing that, we made it even cleaner by dropping it out here. Nice and clean. You still see it from a couple feet back. You can see this really cool exhaust tip, but it is definitely tucked up inside the truck here. But it does come down about 1 inch from this bumper, so you are gonna get those exhaust fumes out the back.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it tucked back.
Yeah, that's a really cool look.
Yeah.
We should probably start offering a kit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like me personally, I like it sticking,
Yeah.
you know, or tucked back more.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll come out with that as a kit for our rear winch bumper.
Call it the Epic Exhaust.
Yeah, but we're gonna spell it correctly. So yeah, you can see the exoskeleton here coming into the pants over here, and then the whole bumper here. It's all like a one-piece bumper design. We do have some top plates that bolt in place and access plates that cover up the winch, but otherwise it's a one-piece design. Another cool feature, check this out. So from that perspective, the normal stock bumper is actually about here. That means if you come out here, you're talking a solid 6 inches of increased ground clearance to this point here. And then up here, it's obviously, you're gaining quite a bit more because of this cut here, this angle coming up. And that's really where, at least I get hung up on rocks. I either hit the hitch when it's down here, right about here, or I'll hit a rock here, climbing, rolling over a big boulder. This is usually where I get hung up. So that's why we have this pretty aggressive cut right here. So yeah, and again, the factory bumper is like right about here or so. So imagine.
Yeah, and it just comes straight out and it's squared.
Yeah,
so.
straight across. Yeah, so definitely a cool feature of that bumper. I really, really like that bumper.
And then the tow hitch actually looks really tucked up as well right from the stock. Does it hang lower from the stock?
Yeah, stock one actually has, you have the bumper and then you have the tow hitch and you have all these bolts and brackets and so forth. We've eliminated all of that by doing a one-piece design where everything's integrated as one unit. So this is actually welded into the bumper here. I'm not sure if you can see it behind that plate, behind the license plate, but it's fully boxed in here, tied in vertically. We also have bracing on the inside that ties into that. This is fully boxed steel construction here, and that's integrated and welded into the bumper as well. So yeah, this thing isn't going anywhere. It's definitely over-engineered. Solid steel shackle mounts right here. We actually mill those on the CNC mill. And then you've got the steps, the new integrated steps with the Predator logo. Super cool. I dig that, especially on the steel. All right, so that wraps up the bumper portion of the truck and pretty much all the outside, underside. But you know what? Let's give them a sneak peek of the interior. So let's run upstairs really quick and take a look upstairs. Okay, quick sneak peek on the interior. We've got one of the seats up here for the Exoskeleton, and we actually custom foam all of it in-house, shape it, sand it, and then of course get into all the different leather work. We actually did a diamond stitch pattern. I think he's gonna go with the diamond stitch pattern. This is just a sample that we did for him. Probably do diamond stitch inserts and have it going through here. But it's coming along. You're gonna see a lot more coming out here very soon. So I know we didn't show you a lot with the interior, but we have a lot more going on up there. Also, we've got on the next episode some off-road footage. We're getting into some how-to videos with off-roading, how to operate your BTM versus TT4, some cool stuff coming out with that. So make sure you check out the next episode, dropping next week. And for now, thanks for watching. See you soon. Hit the subscribe button down below.
Whoa, he smells funny.
This boy needs to put some damn clothes on.
Follow my daddy Flo over there.
What is this? Look, he's trying to be like Big Flo over here.
Except for my toolbox isn't that big. Fucking kids nowadays.
So how you been?
Good.
You haven't been on camera for a while. You're just gonna be in the bloopers.
Good.
Good?
Ryan should have left you out there at the desert. I would have done it. I would have done
I
it.
was scared. I thought that was gonna happen.
Especially that one scene where you're on the top of the hill and he's already down at the bottom. I would just kept on going.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me. Wait, what is that work appropriate?
Yes.